small delay was there in starting the session, but now we can all get back to class. Switch on cameras straight. Let's do dhyanam for a few minutes and then we can start the session. First, proper pranayama, deep exhalation, followed by deep inhalation. Hold the breath for as long as possible. Exhale consciously. Pranayama is the best way, easiest way, fastest way to quieten the mind. When you're doing this pranayama, make sure that your physical body is totally relaxed, mind is focused on the breath, and do it systematically and correctly. And if you do consistently, you will see that your mind is able to be calm for a significant period of time. So let's practice this for a few times. Now, with a quietened mind, one should do Nididhyasanam. Dhyanam done after studying Vedanta Shastras is called Nididhyasanam, where the focus is on Param Brahma Tattvam as explained in the Upanishad mantras. One should recollect the Upanishad mantras which focus on the Brahma Tattvam and internalize the meaning. And that is the process of conversion from information to transformation. So one has to get transformed, and that is the process of nididhyasana. That is the message of the Upanishads. Upanishad mantra says, Sarvam khalvidam brahma tat jalaniti shanta upasita. See, first shanta upasita. First quieten the mind and then do upasana, nidhyasanam on Brahman. As what? Sarvam khalvidam. All around us, the only absolutely real principle, absolute reality is Brahman. From that emerges the relatively real universe, all the beings, including our own physical body, sense organs, mind, thoughts. That's why Brahman is called here Tat Jalan. Tat Brahma. From that Brahman emerges the relatively real universe. And so this universe is what is cognizable by our sense organs and mind. So the moment mind gets into the world, we forget Brahman. That's why in Vedanta classes, Gita classes, we do Nididhyasanam to recollect the message of the Upanishad, most important principle about Brahman being the absolute reality. And this Brahman is the nature of Sat Chit Ananda Swarupam, Satchidananda Swarupam. To explain further the all-pervading nature of Brahman, another Upanishad mantra points out wonderfully. Brahmaivedam amritam purastat, Brahma paschat, Brahma dakshinataschottarena, adhaschordhamscha prasritam, Brahmaivedam vishwamidam varishtham, Vishwamidam. In this universe, the only absolutely real principle, greatest principle, glorious principle is Brahman. It is there in front of us, behind us, to our right, left, below, above, inside, outside. Antar bahishcha tatsarvam yapya narayana sthitaha. So if this Brahma Tattvam, which is the nature of absolute existence, absolute consciousness, absolute bliss is within us, then it should be a way to discover that. That is the teaching of the Upanishads. How to discover one's own true nature is explained in the Upanishad mantras. This mantra points out wonderfully that there is this consciousness principle within all of us. Focus on that. What is the nature of this consciousness principle? Ashariram sharireshu anavasthveshvavasthitam mahantam vibhumatmanam matva dhiro na shochati. Sharireshu ashariram. Within this physical body, which is matter principle, there is one enlivening consciousness principle within all of us, which is ashariram. Is what does not have the characteristics of matter, distinctly different from matter principle. There is a consciousness principle because of which all actions are happening. Though it is the enabler for all the actions of the physical body, it is totally unattached. That is the greatness of this consciousness principle. That is my true nature. Anavasthveshvavasthitam. It is present in all the three states of experiences of the mind. Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti. Waking state, dream state, deep sleep state. This pure consciousness is the enabler of all the three states of experience, but is totally unaffected by the impressions of the mind. How the mind undergoes so many variations, so many changes. But this pure consciousness principle, which is my true nature, does not undergo any change. It's not impacted. So one who can understand one's own true nature as this Atman, not different from Brahman, my own true nature, is unaffected. That is the message of the Upanishads. Tam Mahan, that's why it is the greatest principle, Vibhum, most glorious principle. Where is it? Atmanam, your own true nature. Don't need to go searching for this all around the world, all around the universe. It's your own true nature, Matva. What you have to do? Sit down, study Vedanta Shastra systematically with a traditional teacher of Vedanta. Understand, internalize, undergo transformation. What happened? Dhiraha na shochati. So goes beyond all sorrows, established in permanent bliss and peace of mind when alive. That is called as moksham. It's called mukti. And there is no other way to get rid of sorrows. No other way to get rid of this samsara chakram, being born again and again, other than getting this knowledge of one's own true nature as Atman, non-different from Brahman. So knowledge of absolute reality, one's own true nature as pure consciousness principle bestows immortality. So let's see how Bhagavan is going to conclude his teachings of the Bhagavad Gita Shastra in the 18th chapter. Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha Hari Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvighna Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Parambrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nidhaye Sarva Vidyanam Shaje Bhavaroginam Gurave Sarvalokanam Dakshinamurte Namaha Tadashiva Shankara Madhyamam Asmadacharya-Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Srutismriti-Purananam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavad-Pada Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashyakatam Vande Bhagavanto Punah Punaha Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad-Vyapta Dehaja Dakshinamurtaye Namaha अपार करुणा सिंधुं ज्ञानदं शांतरूपिणं श्रीचंद्रशेखर गुरुं प्रणमामि मुदान्महम् ओम. Now let's chant the 6 slokas focusing on jnanam. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha Shri Saraswatye Namaha Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. Shri Bhagavanuvacha Teshamevanukampartham Ahamajnanajam tamaha Nashayamyatmabhavasthaha Jnanadipena bhasvata Jyotishamaphi tadjyotihi Tamasah paramuchyate Jnanam gneyam jnanagamyam Hridi sarvasya vishtitam Nahi jnanena sadrisham Pavitramiha vidyate tatsvayam yoga samsiddhaha kalenatmani vindati jnanena tu tadajnanam esham nashitamatmanaha tesham adityavajnanam prakashayati tatparam yathai-dhamsi samidhognihi bhasmasat kuruterjuna ज्ञानाग्नि सर्वकर्माणि भस्मसात् कुरुते तथा यस्य सर्वे समारंभाः कामसंकल्पवर्जिताः ज्ञानाग्निदग्धकर्माणं तमाहुः पंडितं बुधाः. ओम शांति शांति शांति. Now these 5 important slokas to remember as much as possible when interacting in the world. Shri Bhagavanuvacha Devi Hesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya Mameva Ye Prapadyante Maya Metam Tarantite Ananyas Chintayanto Mam Ye Janah Paryupasate Tesham Nityabhijuktanam Yogakshemam Mahamyaham Mattah Parataram Nanyate Kinchidasti Dhananjaya Mayi Sarvamidam Protam Sutre Maniganaiva Ishvara Sarvabhutanam Hriddesherjuna Tishtati Brahmayan sarvabhutani yantrarudhani mayaya. Oh, ultimate message of the Vedanta Shastras. Prapancho yadi vidyeta nivarteta na samshayaha maya matramidam dvaitam advaitam paramarthataha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Now all of you stay on camera, sit straight, chant Yam Brahma loudly. Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha Stunvanti Dimyai Stamaihi Vedai Sangapadakramopaniषदैर्गायन्ति yam samagaः ध्यानावस्थित तद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः ॐ श्रीकृष्णाय परमात्मने नमः अथ श्रीमद्भगवद्गीता अष्टादशोऽध्यायः मोक्षसन्न्यासयोगः ॐ नारायणः परो व्यक्तात् अण्डमं व्यक्तसम्भवम् अण्डस्यान्तस्मि मे लोकाः सप्तद्वीपा च मेदिनी ॐ. So I'll chant shloka number 59 and 60, which we did in the last session. Shri Bhagavanuvacha yadyahankaramashritya nayotsya iti manyase mithyaisha vyavasayaste prakritistvam niyoksyati. Shloka number 60. स्वभावजेन कौन्तेय निबद्धस्वेन कर्मणा कर्तुं नेच्छसि यन्मोहात् करिष्यस्य वशोऽपि तत्. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Hardam Swagatam, hearty welcome to the next session on the summary series of Bhagavad Gita. We are now doing 18th chapter, last portion, Moksha-Sannyaasa Yogaha. So, the goal of 18th chapter, Bhagavad Gita, Upanishad, Vedanta Shastras is to make use of this human life. This human birth has been provided while you're doing all other activities. Laukika Vyavaharam. Vedanta Shastras point out that the real goal of being born as human beings is to attain moksham. That means what? Release from this continuous cycle of samsara chakram. See, just now we all celebrated Deepavali. Most of you have enjoyed all these Deepavali celebrations. No? Sweets, savories, some people busting crackers a lot. That is gone. Now, of course, today in Bangalore, they'll continue. Yesterday evening, today evening, Balipad they say. They continue, but after that, what happens? Comes back to normal, same thing, right? So, like that, whatever happens during this life, you go through some experiences, some things happen, right? From time you're born till the last days of your life, many things happen, and then this life will go again, another life. Why? Again and again, subject to birth, punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani, jatare shayanam, iha samsare. So what Radha Shankara says, we are not even thinking for a minute about what is happening. Hora samsaram, we are being pushed into it again and again. We don't want to experience any unhappiness or sorrow, but unfortunately, if you are born, sorrow will follow. Happiness, sorrow will be alternating. And so, there's only one way to attain permanent peace, happiness, is to get moksham or mukti, release from samsara chakram. And that is not something that happens after death. When you're alive itself, you should be absolutely peaceful. That's how you'll be established in that, and you'll not be subject against samsara chakram. That's possible only by jnanam. So understand. That is why we chant all the slokas on jnanam. We all chanted the 6 slokas during Deepavali, meant for remembering that. And so Bhagavan, the last portion of the 18th chapter, is focusing on that. And sloka number 55 is a very important sloka. Chant with me now once. Shri Bhagavanuvacha bhaktya mamabhijanati yavanyaschasmi tatpataha tato mam tatpato jnatva vishate tadanantaram. 18.55 is a wonderful shloka, essence of Gita Shastram, where Bhagavan is pointing to a jnani bhakta. That means what? After going through various phases, first going to Bhagavan for solving problems, Artha Bhakta, Then going to Bhagavan, Artharthi Bhakta, getting wealth, material possessions, everything. Then, because of Punya Samskaram of so many Janmas, some point in time, I say, this person takes a U-turn. No, whenever you take a U-turn in the road, at least remember this. U-turn is from Pravritti Margam to Nivritti Margam. Pravritti means what? Going on, being engaged in action. Action will give reaction. Pravartate iti continues, never ends. Unless we take a very intelligent decision to take a U-turn and what? Focus on our origin, where from I came. Like whenever you go from home, wherever you go, you have to come back. So you will come back, right? Similarly, why all this? Why am I born? What is the purpose of my life? What is this world, universe? Who is Bhagavan? Unless that inquiry starts, and that's possible only by being a Jignasu Bhakti. So Artha Bhakta to Artharthi Bhakta to Jignasu Bhakta. So Bhaktya Mam. Bhaktya means what? As a Jignasu Bhakta, Abhijanati. Abhijanati means knows. See, people think Bhakti means what? Chanting something, doing Harikatha, listening to Katha Kalakshepam, dancing or doing something, what? Nama Sankirtan. No. Bhakti here means Jignasu Bhakti. Means what? Sitting and studying Vedanta Shastra systematically with a traditional teacher. Vedanta is called Bhakti. You'll be very surprised. That is real Bhakti. Jignasu Bhakti. Jignasu Bhaktya Mam Abhijanati. So through Bhakti, one has to know me, Bhagavan is saying. So by dancing, by Nama Sankirtan, can you know Bhagavan? No. You have to don't study, understand. It is knowledge through Jnanam. So Jnatum Ichha Jignasa. So through Jignasa, you know Bhagavan. As what? Now you should be able to answer the question. Bhagavan is what? Somebody in the puja room, somebody in temple, somebody in some kshetram. Where is Bhagavan? Bhagavan is Ashabdam Asparsham Arupam Aukyam. Beyond name and form. Sat Chit Ananda Swarupam. The innermost self of all beings. It is called as Atma. Atma is not different from Brahman. This Brahman is the higher nature of Ishvara Tattvam. The lower nature is matter principle. Is what? Taking our mind away from the supreme principle. So this knowledge, Bhaktyamam Abhijanati, Yavan Yaschasmi what? Tattvataha. Reality has to be known, internalized. Means what? What is the meaning of knowing the absolute reality? There's got two meanings. One, knowing the real nature of Ishvara Tattvam, Satchidananda Swarupam, and also knowing what? The universe as Mithya or Maya. That is very important. Without that, Advaita Jnanam won't get fructified. So, while it is there for Vivaharam and for experiences, so whatever is your condition, circumstances of life, you have to follow that. I'm not saying you should give up all that. Respect that, follow that, but have it at the back of the mind. That is not absolutely real. Neither the sorrows are real, nor the happiness that you're experiencing is real, nor the material that you're enjoying is real. Everything has got only transactional reality. There's no absolute reality. It's called Vyavaharika Satyam. One of the important principles for understanding Advaita Vedanta is the two different realities. One is absolute reality, which is called as Paramarthika Satyam. Another is relative reality, Vyavaharika Satyam. Then question will come, sir, how are you saying that the world I'm experiencing is only relatively real? Why can't I say that is absolutely real? Question will come, right? If this world that you're experiencing was absolutely real, it should also be there in your experience during dream. Simple, because you are the same person, right? Your own mind is seeing the world and experiencing. During dream, what is happening? Your mind only is thinking. Is the same universe or world that you are experiencing coming in the dream? Is another world that is created. So simple logic will explain that While waking, what you're experiencing is a universe which is different from the universe or the world that you're experiencing during dream. Go further. There is a state called deep sleep, sushupti. Neither the universe of the waking state nor the universe of the dream state is there. Nothing is there. Should, unless you sit down and think, you are always continuously engaged in some action, doing something, this won't even make any meaning. So that is Vedanta Shastra, makes you to focus. So the world that is experienced during waking is different from that during dream, and both of them vanish. Prapanchopashamam shantam shivamadvaitam chaturtham manyante sahatma savigneyaha. Mandukya mantra says wonderfully. So all all the universe, entire universe experience disappears. So that means what? That is what is not present in all three states of experiences cannot be absolutely real. So tattvataha janati. So bhaktyamam abhijanati yavan ischasmi tattvataha. One understands what? Absolutely real principle of Ishvara Tattvam as Satchidananda Swarupam. And also, second Tattvataha is knowing one's own true nature also as Satchidananda Swarupam. How Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma Yo Vedanihitam Guhayam Parame Vyoman So Oshnyute Sarvan Kamahan Saha Brahmana Vipaschiteti. Now you see, small thing, just I'm pointing out. Later when we study Upanishad, we will come back to it. Brahmana vipaschiteti tasmadva etasmad atmana akasha sambhutaha. Why the Upanishad mantra? Can somebody write this? Brahmana vipaschi. Brahmana is being mentioned. Then atmana tasmadva etasmad atmana akasha sambhutaha. See, that means what? Brahman is not different from Atman. That is the message of the Upanishads. So understand Tattvataha, my own true nature. Once it happens, when two things are one and the same, it is as good as they have merged with each other. So Bhagavan says, Tato mam tattvato jnatva vishate tadanantaram. You attain oneness with Brahma Tattvam. So Bhagavan, oneness with me, he says. That you enter Bhagavan doesn't mean you're going from there, traveling from here to another place and entering. You understand that you are neither different from Brahman earlier in essentiality as pure conscious principle, nor are you different from Brahman now, nor will be different later. That is the only way. Through Jnanam, you attain so-called merger with Bhagavan. And also this Jnanam alone will destroy all your sanchita karma, which is there in heaps and bounds, infinite. Sanchita karma can be destroyed only by jnanam. So Bhagavan has explained in one shloka. That's why this shloka is wonderful. Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yaschasmi tatpataha tato mam tatpato jnatva vishate tadanantaram. Tadanantaram. This immediately, not after, some days, some years, or what, 100 years, next life, many lives later. No. Here and now. Underline. This is a very, very, very important shloka. Every word. Tadanantaram, here and now. One who knows Brahmavit Brahmaiva Bhavati. Brahmavit Brahmayeva Bhavati. So what has to be explained through detailed study of Vedanta Shastras? Maybe 12 Upanishads, Gita Shastra in detail, Brahma Sutra, all that detailed study has been compressed in one shloka. What? You need the right attitude, Jignasu Bhakti, to undertake the path of Jnana Margam, Abhijanati. What? Yavan Yaschasmi. Who is this real supreme, Ishvara Tattvam? Who is God? What is this Brahman? What is the nature? What is all-pervading nature? How much is it? Is it small or is it huge? Anoraniyan mahato mahiyan atmasya janto nihito guhayam tamah kratuh pashyati vita shokaha dhatu prasadan mahimanam. All these mantras will come in Kathopanishad. We'll study that. So Bhagavan has explained all in one shloka. So what is there to be Done now. Having explained that Jnanam is the only way to attain moksham, merger with Bhagavan, the next few slokas from 56 to 59, 60, Bhagavan is coming back to the fundamental process. What is the fundamental process? Path of karma yoga with Ishvara bhakti is the only way to attain chitta shuddhi. Finally, focus on Vedanta Shastra, Jnanam and Moksham. So, it means what? As I told, in between all these festivals for enjoyment will come, but you have to come back to the process, which is come back every day to your Nitya Karma, do your Panchamaha Yajna consistently, and then Chitta Shuddhi is attained by focusing all actions as an offering to Bhagavan. So karma yoga is emphasized again. And Bhagavan says, you may at some point in time in your life, or maybe many points in time, you don't know, you will feel, "Arey, what am I doing? Should I keep on doing same thing again and again? Can I not escape from this and do something different? Why don't I take a break from all this Nitya Karma, all my duties, go and relax somewhere?" That's what sometimes you feel because you get fed up doing the same thing and again. In the case of Arjuna, what happened? He was pushed into a corner. He was supposed to do his duty to fight the war as a Kshatriya, but because of extreme sorrow, shoka, giving rise to moham, ignorance, or delusion, he said, I will not do my duty. Are you getting the point? So Bhagavan is saying in this sloka, I'm summarizing. Intermittently, you will feel that let me escape from my duties. But whoever has tried that has not lasted long. Let me tell you, Bhagavan is saying that. You can try it, but you'll get frustrated into something that you try to do different from what you are supposed to do, which is called swadharma, swakarma. So you will come back to this, whether you want it or not. Maybe for some years in this life, or maybe this life, somehow you will push it away, but some other life, it will come back and revisit. So please understand the nature that is being what? Imbibed into us is because of our actions. So write down all these points, key points. There are messages from these shlokas. Whatever actions I do consistently, constantly, also what? Creates my nature, swabhavam. Swadharma, swakarma creates swadharma, swabhava. What is the beauty of swabhava? If for some brief period you escape from swadharma, swakarma, and by God's grace you come back to it, it is fine. But if you neglect this significantly because of deep moham, deep ignorance, then your swabhava will change and it will be very, very difficult for you to come back. That's why what happens? For a period of time, if not in this life, in future lives, people give up all the religious way, the right way, dharmic way. Now you see so many people not following dharma, even though their what ordained duties to follow dharma, yes or no? Following dharma is everybody's responsibility. The way it is being expressed is different. So then what happens? The consequences will be very severe. And then after a lot of what Swamiji used to say, getting beating from the world, then only one fine day they'll sit down and think, if at all some punyam is there, what I have done wrong, and come back. So Bhagavan is saying, since Arjuna is a Mahapunyaman, the word Arjuna itself, Bhagavan is going to give, Acharya Shankara is giving meaning in sloka number 61. Arjuna himself, Arjuna, the word itself means white, clear, clarity. Arjuna is a person having what? Supposedly clear mind, pure mind, Sattva Shuddhi. Briefly, that means what does it indicate? Even the greatest of greatest people with a lot of clarity will have confusion at some point in time. So if you're confused about what is happening, why it is happening, don't get what? Discouraged. Go back to Shastras, sit down with the teacher and study. That is the message here. Absolute clarity permanently will come only when there is jnanam. Otherwise, there will be brief bouts of confusion. Is it there or not in all our lives? Have you been always crystal clear? Sir, always I am very energetic, positive, no, crystal clear. Every now and then some confusion comes. de-energizes us, takes us away from doing our normal act. Yes or no? Happens or not? So, Bhagavan, Arjuna is a clear indication. Arjuna was a dharmishtha. He also has tremendous amount of clarity earlier. Because even before the start of the war, he is told, Yatho dharmas tato jayaha, yatho krishnas tato jayaha. So briefly, this will happen. So even though you are briefly in a deluded state and run away, think that you want to run away, Bhagavan is saying, you will come back to this because you got punyam. Add the, no, in bracket, because you got the Purvajana samskaram and punyam, and you also know swadharma. And there's some slight clarity comes, you will come back. Swabhavajena kaunteya nibadhasvena karmana. Sloka number 60. Kartum nechasi yanmohat karishyasya vashopi tat. Karishyasi avashya. Very important. Avashaha api. Bhagavan is saying, even though briefly you felt that it is not right to what undertake this war, they're all my what teachers, grandfathers, my relatives, and you want to run away. That is the message to Arjuna. What is the message to us? Briefly, if you think, no, all this, that problem is also today there in Mahabharata war, Arjuna was put into deep sorrow and confusion. Today, our confusion is arising from looking at the world. Yes or no? Look at the universe, look at the world, look at the people around. Majority, 99.9% people don't seem to be following what Shastras are saying. Yes or no? And so what happens? You think that, no, am I in a minority? Am I doing all these things? Nobody is following. They're all seemingly, they're also happy. We think they're happy. Let me tell you, we are going to discuss about Anandam also. Happiness doesn't come so easily. So it's only seemingly they're trying to get some what? Laukika, Sukham Alpa, Sukham Bad. Within no time it will vanish, come back to sorrow again. So we think that we are in a minority, and so confusion comes to us. See, the confusion is common. Please understand. The confusion about whether I should undertake my what? Swadharma, Swakarma, my ordained duty. What was there? That confusion is common to Arjuna and to us. Are you getting the point? Have you understood? The circumstances, environment, the situation, the nimittam, instrumental cause can be different. Today for us, the world is giving us that kind of what? The instrumental cause for us, creating confusion. So Bhagavan is saying here, if you have got some punyaka, that means what? If you are coming back at least to the path again, you can be sure that you are blessed by Bhagavan. You are in the right path. You are a dharmishtha. So Bhagavan is saying, because you are bound by your swadharma. And the swadharma is born out of swabhavam. Swabhavajena. Now you see, these slokas are very, very difficult if you want to understand properly. Looks like chanting is easy. Swabhavajena kaunteya nibaddhasvena karmana. See, now understand. Swakarma, swadharma is related to swabhava. You put it in the reverse order. Swabhava will guide you to follow swadharma and then swakarma, your duties. Are understanding? Swabhava, your nature. So that's what I said. If you neglect your ordained duty, because you don't know what is your true swabhava, nobody will know. Yes, some glimpses are there. How it is manifested as what duties you are doing, swadharma and swakarma. Observe what duties I am engaged in. If I am doing these ordained duties, fine. Otherwise, what is happening? I am deviating. And slowly, when swadharma, swakarma goes away from ordained duties, swabhava will change. Swabhava will not change immediately over a period of few janmas. After that, you are lost. That's why Mahaprabhu used to say, if in a family, if they don't do Sandhya Vandanam for 3 generations, they lose their nature of Brahmanatvam. They can be called Brahmana Bandhu. They cannot be even called Brahmanas. That is the problem, right? Like that, if we don't follow our Swadharma over a period of time, and what happens? You think we are now enjoying the world by doing, getting all engaged in action in the world, but please understand, Where it is going to end, we are not going to be sure. So Bhagavan is saying that Punyavashat, you will come back because your nature will impel you helplessly to come back to the path. And that is what is the message. Swakarma, Swadharma. You try with your Viveka Shakti, discriminative power, to stick to your Swadharma, these ordained duties. Even every now and then some confusion can come. You will go, no, bit astray, but come back quickly, recover quickly. Otherwise, consequences are very dangerous. That's the message of Bhagavan. So, Bhagavan is saying, even if you don't want to do because of delusion, moham. See, yan mohat kartum naichasi. Because of delusion, if you think, or if you it's not pleasing for you to do, karishyasi avashaha pitat. You will come back to it later. And then to begin again. For example, some people have totally left Sandhya Vandanam. For them to begin again is a bit difficult. That's why we're going to start shortly all this. That you get interest by at least knowing all the meanings and right process. Get back to it. The process is very important. And so, Bhagavan is next few slokas. So from 56 to 60, Bhagavan has said that come back to karma and Ishvara Bhakti. What are the two guiding principles? Yata hekena chakrena ratham yasyana gathir bhavet. Evam purushakarena vinadaivam na siddhi. So do your duty, have faith in God, offer. Slowly karma should be converted to karma yoga. And so slowly that now you will feel clearly, you will experience the chitta shuddhi. Chitta shuddhi means what? That mind which is getting purity will get peace of mind. Write down another important point. Peace of mind comes from purity of mind. Purity of mind will come from karma yoga. So in the reverse order, by doing karma as karma yoga, offering to Bhagavan, mind becomes pure. That purity of mind will give peace of mind. That peace of mind will take you to Nivritti Margam. Start the three questions. Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara. What is that? Study Vedanta Shastra, Jnana, Moksha. Clear? No. So far, okay. So finally, Bhagavan has come back to karma, karma yoga, and upasana. Now, why all this is happening? So there should be some fundamental reason for people going what? In Pravritti Margam, yes or no? Even when Brahmaji created the rishis, there were some rishis who were focused on immediately on Brahmagyan after being born. The four Brahma rishis. So we studied all this earlier. I'm repeating. Sanakadi rishis, they didn't want to focus on the what? Pravritti Margam. They took to Nivritti Margam, went to Lord Dakshinamurti and got Jnanam. But others had to continue, so they took the Pravritti Margam. So why this Pravritti Margam is happening? Now important thing understand, because of Aneka Janma Sampraptihi, there is something called as Ajnanam, Avidya, Adhyasam, that is deep rooted in all of us. So if you take the individual at a very broad level, what does Vedanta Shastra say? That your physical science, medical science will say, you got this, no face, hand, leg, no bone, muscle, no brain, everything. Or Vedanta Shastra says you got three types of shariras. What are they? Sthula Shariram, gross body. Sukshma Shariram, subtle body. Karana Shariram, which is ignorance or avidya. Some write down this. This is Vedanta definition of the individual. Other things will define differently. Because this is common to everybody, yes or no? Each one can be looking different height. All people same height, same weight, same type of complexion, same. No. But these three principles apply common to everybody. That's why Vedanta Shastra, my Swamiji used to say, can be applied common to everybody in the world, universe, right? So what are the three shariras? All of us have got a gross body, which is made of this bone, skin, flesh, all these things, coming matter, pure matter principle. Then there is Sukshma Shariram, which is the mind, just broken down into Manaha, Chitta, Buddhi, Hankaram, the gross mind stuff. Then Chitta, that's the mind stuff. Then Hankaram, I, the sense of I-ness that comes. So, manaha, chitta, buddhi, some intellect, every knows some intellect works. So this is all there internally along with your purva janma samskaras, purva prajna, dharma. Some qualities carry over. That's there in subtle body, which doesn't die when the physical body perishes. Please understand. When the physical body perishes, they do antima samskaram, physical body is burnt. But this will travel from escape from this physical body and then go and seek another physical body. That's how we are born again to another physical body, and it continues. Why? Because there is at the back one solid framework is there. What is that? Avidya, ignorance. That is what? Because of which this Sukshma Shariram continues to exist. What is this avidya? Avidya is what? I am not complete. Whatever happens, I am not happy. I am not established in happiness. The constant urge to attain something, do something, get something, achieve something, because of which we think we'll get fulfilled, is the fundamental definition of avidya. And unless that is totally removed, you will seek something. In this life, when we die, if you die without getting jnanam, what will happen? There is something to be fulfilled. Some more desires are there. We think because of fulfilling that, we'll attain peace and happiness. So again, another birth. Just like every day morning, you get up and what? Do something for the day, seemingly get fulfilled or happy or whatever it is. End of the day, you go to sleep, get up again. So it's only sleep in between. That is nothing but a longer duration of this physical body not being there, new body comes. So goes on and on and on. And the fundamental problem is what? Presence of avidya. Avidya is, write down, avidya is nothing but individual, called vyashti, individual. The samashti, that means that the totality of avidya is called maya tattvam. And so, what is maya? Fundamental matter, trigunatmikam. This fundamental matter is what? Part of Ishvara or not. Ishvara is equal to, write down. Now you have to understand. The next loka to understand, you should know all these things. That's why I'm giving you all the explanation. So, Ishvara Tattvam is equal to what? Para Prakriti plus Apara Prakriti. That's why so much of preparation Bhagavan has done earlier. Hopefully you're understanding that. Brahman plus Maya, all that has to be recollected. And so Bhagavan is saying, because of the presence of the fundamental Maya Tattvam individually as avidya, we are made to go round and round and round and round the samsara chakram. Now you see, we may think, sir, I have got a lot of freedom, sir. I'm doing so many things on my own. But one thing, you don't have a freedom. You have to come back to this samsara again and again, right? What you do there may be different. One may be an engineer, one may be a doctor, one can be a teacher, one can be a driver, one can be something else. But the fact that is common to everybody is that you are born again in this universe, continue to do something, experience sukham, dukkham, happiness, sorrow. Keep on pushing, pushing, pushing. Up to some point in time, then this body perishes. And our Shastra say we are reborn. If you don't have no belief in that, this is a problem. As an Astika, we believe and it continues. Yes or no? Does it matter whether we are what? Whether Purusha, Stree, young, old. This is a common factor to everybody. And so this fundamental avidya, ignorance, is the root cause. And where does it arise from? Fundamental matter principle. So sloka number 61 is pointing to the fundamental cause of people not taking up, as explained by Bhagavan in 55. Write down. Why people don't what? Execute, so to say. Execute means don't follow. Don't do what Bhagavan has told, as in what 18.55 is because of 18.61. Right? These are pair slokas. So Bhagavan has explained so easily. Bhaktyama abhijanati yavan eschasmi tattvataha tatoman tattvato jnatva vishate tadantaram. Merge with Bhagavan, no more rebirth. Total freedom from samsara chakram, moksha, mukti, Bhagavan has told. But that is not happening. Why? Because of 18.60. Now you understood? 1861 is the cause. for not undertaking 18.55. Chant sloka number 61. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Ishvara Sarvabhutanam Hriddesherjuna Tishtati Brahmayan Sarvabhutani Yantrarudhani Mayaya. So all the words you underline. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. See, the word Ishvara has come, so people are not able to understand that. They say Ishvara is there in everybody's what? Innermost nature. That means what? Ishvara has to be what? Something very elevated. Para Prakriti or Brahman or what? That's what we think. That is why you have to underline these words. Can somebody write down all these words separately? Interest all of you write. Brahmayan first. Yantrarudhani number 2. 3 Mayaya. So Ishvara has got two aspects which you have understood by now, hopefully, right? What are they? The higher nature, which is Satyachita Ananda Swarupam, Brahman. The lower nature is Maya Tattva, matter principle. One aspect of Maya is avidya, ignorance. Ajnanam, write down. Ajnanam, avidya, adhyasam. Adhyasam is not understanding the real nature. Superimposition of unreal on real. These are all what? Facts of ignorance. So Bhagavan says here, why you are not able to attain jnanam? Hey Arjuna, Ishvaraha tishtati. The Lord is residing. Now Lord means what? Now you're all what? Advanced students. Lord here, Ishvara is equal to what? Ishvara is what? Apara Prakriti. Write down. Maya Tattvam. Matter principle. Avidya. Hriddeshe. Hrit in the heart. Heart doesn't mean physical heart. Vedanta, what is heart? Heart is the buddhi, the intellect. So, our intellect has got a background of avidya or adhyasam. Write down. What is this avidya adhyasam that makes us think that the universe is real? What is happening? Yes or no? Unless you study Vedanta Shastra, where you get some glimpse. Okay, maybe Vedanta Shastra is saying that there's some thing called as absolute reality, relative reality. So, okay, we will give some marks for Vedanta. But otherwise, 99.900% we think the world is yes or no. Whatever happens is real. So, that is the background, solidly embedded in our intellect. The world is real. What I do in the world, what I achieve is going to give me fulfillment. As fundamental matter, Maya Tattvam, Hriddeshe. In the heart means in the mind, in the intellect, where Sarva Bhutanam, in all the beings. Here you take human beings because only human beings can think. Animals cannot think. Because of which, what is happening? Brahmayan Sarva Bhutani. Brahmayan means what? Making you dizzy, going round and round. Sometimes when children become dizzy, or sometimes even when we get giddiness, we think the world is moving around. Yes or no? Only or we are having giddiness, but the world is moving around. Similarly, what is happening? This avidya or what? Adhyasam, ajnanam is making us go round and round in this world in search of fulfillment. Search of fulfillment, search of happiness. Balastavat krida saktaha tarunastavat taruni saktaha Vriddhastavat chinta saktaha parame brahmani kopina. So keep on going. That's why Bhagavan is saying here Brahmayan, making you revolve. That means Sarva Bhutani, all the beings are made to revolve because of this avidya that is there present in the intellect or the mind of all beings, human beings. Let's take. How? Maya, through Maya. Look at Bhagavan. There's then a wonderful Kapatanataka Sutradhari, Krishna Paramatma, who what killed Naraka, Narakachatudarshi, right? So he has done two things. One, created the universe, which is what Bhagavan is saying, Devi Hesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya created what? Embedded this ignorance. He is not selectively embedded ignorance in us. Ignorance is what? What has come from all our previous lives, actions. That is what here, seemingly Bhagavan has, because Bhagavan is no creator of the universe, creator of the individual. So, in that sense, avidya is embedded in all beings. And so you keep on what? Just like there are some earlier, I don't know, nowadays all children are playing with what? Mobile games and all. They used to be some kind of dolls. If you give a key, you know that? If you give a key, keep on doing same thing again and again. Yes or no? After that, you give key again. Similarly, some puppets are all mounted and they do some actions because they can do only limited actions because of the control. So Bhagavan is saying yantra rudhani. Yantra, write down yantra plus arudhani. Yantra arudham means mounted on a machine. Iva, add iva, as if mounted on a machine, just like puppets are mounted on machine. So the dolls are acting based on some key. We continue to do same thing again and again. What is it again and again? We are born, perform some action, go through all the various phases of life, die. Again born, go through all. So just like pre-programmed, preordained, this continues again and again. What is the reason? By now you should know the reason. At least find the reason. No, getting to know the problem is 50% solved. Please understand. By discovering that there is avidya in me, itself is a mahat karyam. 99.9% don't even think. They don't understand there is avidya within me. So Bhagavan says, recognize that there is this avidya, which is what? Samashti is Maya, individual is avidya, that makes us go through again and again and again. So let us stand this sloka, end the class. I'll make a small announcement and then we'll end this class. Shri Bhagavanuvāca Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Hriddeshe Arjuna Tishtati Brahmayan Sarva Bhutani Yantrarudhani Mayaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Now we are coming to the end of the Bhagavad Gita summary series. Hopefully you found it useful in trying to recollect, because it's not going to end. It's going to continue. You have to keep on doing again and again. By God's grace, you are coming to an end. So what next is the question. So what you're going to do is, to make it very interesting, there are 4 sessions every week. We will do 2 sessions of Kathopanishad and 2 sessions of Sandhya Vandana mantra meaning, so that it doesn't become what? Same rigmarole. What we'll do is, Saturday morning, all India time, Saturday morning, this, and Sunday morning, we'll focus on Sandhya Vandanam meaning. Very important, because that is the way to come to the dharmas. Everybody, I will explain how everybody should be able to do. In their execution, steps will be different, but how to do Sandhya Vandanam meanings. And Thursday morning and Saturday evening, we will take up Kathopanishad. So all of you try and download the basic text. We'll send a link. In your own language, you can download, whether it is Sanskrit, English, Kannada, Telugu, Hindi, Tamil, any language. Download the text of Kathopanishad. For Sandhya Vandanam, we'll be posting all the mantras, the procedures, their meanings, and even the mantra chanting in Guru Shishya mode. Guru chanting once, Shishya chanting twice in our website. Please download. And there are 2 portions. One is the mantras. For each of the 3, Pratha Sandhya, Madhyanikam, Sayam Sandhya, all the mantras will be uploaded. Download them and try and practice it. Make it, who is doing it, make it perfect by listening, because it is chanted by a very great Vedic Pandit, followed by the Shishya. And then the ebook will give you the procedure for doing Sandhya Vandanam and also the meaning, which we'll take in great detail during the classes. So very useful for you. Get prepared for all these things. I'm giving you advance notice. We'll send a separate flyer, send all the details, but advance information. So this is the next thing we'll be doing maybe in a week from now. Then, as I told you, today is Balipadyami, and unlike other places in Bangalore, especially in our areas, a lot of bursting of crackers. Even last night there was too many crackers. Anybody in Bangalore will be able to know also what I'm saying. So even this evening, there'll be too much of disturbance. Satish is in Bangalore. He's saying he knows very clearly. Anybody else from Bangalore can confirm. It is very disturbing. Too much of crackers. Vishwajit is also confirming. See, people in Bangalore only will know. So only for this evening, we will not be able to do the class because there's a lot of disturbance. We'll continue tomorrow. Now there is no crackers because people are sleeping. Aram se, even Ramesh is saying. So evening they get very active, especially from the 7 to 9. There's no too many crackers, very disturbing. Ravina. So all these people, Ravina, all know in Bangalore. Huh? So we will continue Sunday morning, same tomorrow morning, 7:30 a.m. Once we complete, and then we'll take up the next set. So we'll do all okay. Kathopanishad plus Sandhyavandana. That way the combination is good. One is to do Swadharma, Swakarma properly. Second is to get Jnanam through Upanishad study. By God's grace, let us take this up systematically. Tell all your friends, relatives. We'll send out the flyer also, so that they are all prepared. And here important is from Sandhyavandanam plus Kathopanishad, no more YouTube live streaming. Only Zoom classes will be live. Rest all you have to download the recordings. So make sure you are prepared to attend the class live. Tell your friends and relatives we want this knowledge of Kathopanishad and all from now on. Any class, all the Upanishads, Brahma Sutras, all we are going to do. Dhyan Mantra, there will be no YouTube. You'll have to come live on Zoom or later download record. How to download recordings, we'll demonstrate in the next class. These are the announcement. Note this. All this will be sent out clearly in message also. Advanced information. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate. Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om Tatsat. Krishna 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 Shubhamastu Samasta Sanmangalani Bhavantu. Hari Om Narayana.